Hey, welcome to episode number 47 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Or episode number 35 of the Keep Up Vodcast.
Yep, it is both.
Yeah, entertaining people dead or alive. Preferably dead people. I feel like I would want to entertain them more than people who are alive because they can't be critical.
I feel like your motivation is selfish in that way.
Maybe I just want to entertain the dead.
Maybe.
How many artists are out there for the dead people?
Not enough.
That's what I'm saying.
That is for sure.
And that's why we're changing the world, Jerry.
What is enough, Tom?
Fantastic. I'm glad you got that.
Oh, yeah. It took me, well, not that long, actually.
No, you got it.
It's pretty much all over it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, honestly, really nothing. I've been playing a crap ton of Breath of the Wild.
First of all, you need to watch your mouth.
I'm sorry, my language. Crap ton is actually a measurement. You can look it up in the Webster Dictionary.
Crap ton?
Yes.
No way, really?
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
You can't prove that.
I can't right now.
I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
Probably not.
Are you serious?
It's got to be like a size, like a metric
It's
ton.
not. It's a slang measurement.
But it's still a measurement.
A sledgerment.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I'll never say that again.
Okay.
So that's it, huh?
You know what, Brett? I was thinking.
Well, wait. Are you about to ask me a question?
Yes.
This is everything I want. Are you ready?
Sure.
I made you a present today.
Oh, God.
You might hate it. But I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
I was listening to our last podcast that we posted, which for the first time in a long time was only a few days ago.
You're right.
And you asked some questions, and I realized that's something you do pretty regularly.
I love asking questions because they're fun to hear what you think.
They are
I know
fun.
what I think, but
Yeah.
I want to know what you think.
I love them, and I like to hear what you think. Now I need to hear what you think about this transition that I made exclusively for when you have
Is this
questions.
the 9-second thing that you wanted?
It's 9 seconds.
Oh, God.
You can veto this, but this one time I'm definitely going to put it in.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
I am.
Here we go.
I really like that.
Yes!
You can keep that.
Yes! Victory!
I like the kids thrown in there.
I
It's
thought
like,
you might like that. Should we? All right, let's one more.
okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy that.
You have your own segment now.
I'm glad I've asked enough stupid questions that you had to make your own segment about it.
And don't take the word stupid wrong. I love them.
Oh, me too.
I just feel like it was the best word
Yeah,
to use in the transition.
That's the point. I want to ask the questions that people aren't asking.
Right.
You know, you go to CNN and people are like,
smart stuff, smart stuff, smart stuff.
yeah, I want to
Right?
go on there and be like, hey, why are toenails long?
How do pilots get home?
Exactly. I still. Okay, so I have two questions this time. One isn't a stupid question, it's a normal question.
Oh.
Have you ever throughout your life thought you would ever want a pet turtle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So would you get 1 or 4?
I have to get 4.
Okay. I was thinking,
Those are the numbers. Did you get 1 or 4?
because I know you'd feel bad, and like if you had 1, would you name what turtle would you name it?
Raphael.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your first one. But would it need 3 brothers? Would you have to get 4?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe, I guess 1 or 4 is the option, huh?
Yeah.
4 seems cool, but it might be crowded. You need a big tank.
Well, you can get a big tank.
Can I?
Throw them in the sewer.
You don't know my budget.
Well,
I'm not going to buy animals just to not look at them.
buy your own sewer, and then just.
Can you do
visit
that?
them.
Is it like adopting a highway?
I think
you
so,
can rent
yeah.
a sewer.
I liked how they named it Adopt a Highway because it's like, do you go and take care of it? Do you raise it? Do you go
Right.
there? And it's like, no, don't
You
let these
teach
people.
it the ways.
Yeah, don't let these people drive on you. Only nice cars can drive on
That's
you.
right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Okay.
Right.
So it doesn't work with the sewer either.
I don't imagine so.
Okay, so
How many turtles do you have in this imaginary version of you?
5. One I'll name Splinter just to confuse people.
Oh my gosh, Tim, that is not awesome.
What if you put 4 turtles and a rat in the same?
I don't know, I was just thinking that. Do either of them eat each other?
The rat might be vicious.
What if the rat sleeps on the shell of one of them?
That would be awesome.
It's adorable.
It would be great.
It's the best pet situation ever in history.
Really? You think it's better?
One of them.
A bear. I would want a bear 100 times more than a turtle.
Yeah. But like a hugging one.
Yeah. No, I don't want a vicious one.
Not a human eating one.
Yeah.
I saw a video on this new thing called the internet, and this guy was
it's new?
Yeah.
Internet? Oh, okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
It's super confusing. But every now and then there's a video of a guy cuddling a giant bear.
Every now and again, you say.
Here and there. And I think that's mostly what the internet's for. And I tell you, based on that, I love the internet.
Yeah, just because of that one thing. I wonder, they must have to raise the bear from when it's a cub, when it's a baby.
No, I think you can walk up to most, bears.
Yes.
Just kiss them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
If you don't kiss them, they kill you.
That's where the expression bear kiss comes from.
Okay.
You know how you give someone a bear kiss?
No.
Is that not a thing?
No, I haven't heard that, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
I've heard, pretend to be dead when there's a bear around. Which, how do they not know you're dead?
Wait, how do they not know you're dead?
How do they know you're not dead? How do they know you're dead?
I think alive is the word you're trying to end that sentence
How do you know? How do they know
you're not alive?
Well, I guess. Well, you're pretending to be dead.
Oh, wait. That's the same thing.
Right.
Why would they believe that you're dead?
Yes, why?
Why can't either of us ask this question?
The bears, they're in here. So, yeah, why? They must know you're alive. Do you think that's true?
The thing is, bears are very courteous creatures. So when they see a guy pretending to be dead, they're just like, this poor idiot. I'm just going to leave him alone.
So they just feel bad for you.
Yeah, I think at this point, they're like, they make jokes about how we think if you play dead, they don't know. And they're nice,
Do you think bears in different countries have the same policies?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely an international
like pandas and 100%. Polar bears.
If you act dead around any of them, they will leave you alone.
So it's just a unanimous, like they have a meeting every year, and they're all like, "This is what we do with pretending to be dead humans this year."
They have the UNB, the United Nations of Bears.
That was fantastic.
And they just have a meeting, and they're like, "Hey, are we still all cool with if they play dead, we leave them alone?" And it's always like majority, if not unanimous.
Do you think there are some bears who are like, "No, let's kill them"?
Yes.
Which bears do you think that is?
The drunk ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would they invite Squeak and a Half drunk bears?
Well, they're very inclusive. They're courteous.
I would think it's the polar bears.
It's always the polar bears.
I just feel like they're mean.
Yeah, they are.
And it's I'm not trying to be racist, but polar bears are just notoriously jerks. From what I've read.
You're not wrong.
In, the big book of everything.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I love that book.
It's a great book. It is a great book.
So, back to turtles.
Right.
How'd we get to bears? Oh, because, okay, I got it.
It always gets to bears.
Okay. Just good to know.
So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a 1 or 4. I'm at least a 2, maybe 1 turtle, 1 rat situation.
Okay.
Is that weird?
Yeah, no.
The last rat I had died.
Right, you still have the cage. I was wondering.
Yeah, the rat's still in there.
Oh.
It's been like 10 years.
That's a little dark.
I mean, I just couldn't part.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep the memory.
That's messed up.
No, Brett, it's completely adorable.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably get turtles eventually. The kids really want turtles.
Okay.
And that excites me because I don't... maybe I had a pet turtle. I don't remember.
Throughout your whole life? You can't remember 1 turtle?
How many do you think I had?
I don't know. You
were around for a lot of it. Do you remember any turtles?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so...
yeah, but...
why are you so surprised that I don't remember the turtles we never had?
Because it's your life. How do you not remember?
You were there, like, a lot of it.
Is it funny that...
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this is just our family or if this is all families, but, sometimes where you get crap from, your mother... And she's like, remember that trip I took you on when you were 2 years old?
What is the question?
So occasionally mom gives me crap for not remembering a trip that she took all of us on.
Okay,
So she was like, don't you remember when we went to Cape Cod? And I was like, Mom, I was 2.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I wonder, does that bother you?
Like, is that a mom thing?
Yeah,
are you
is that
asking?
like our mom or all parents where they're like, don't you appreciate the things I did for you when you were 2?
Yeah, I guess that's... Does that bother me? Is that the question?
Well, maybe not bother, but you're like, why did you take me when I was 2 years old? Why didn't you
Is our family broken? Is that what you're asking me, Tim?
What?
Are we falling apart because none of us can remember the things we did when we were young?
I have a very selective memory.
I don't... Yeah, you know what? I've wondered if, because we moved a lot, if it confuses my memory. That could be a made-up thing. But I remember, like, different parts and pieces of things pretty jumbly.
So I wonder, is that just memory or is that our memory? Because I have the same thing. I remember, like, specifically my first grade teacher's name, Mrs. Carr. But
Mine was Mrs. Palmer.
See, but I can't remember, like, my third grade teacher. I don't even know what she looked like.
I remember mine, Mrs. Lee, I think.
You think? 4th grade? No way. I don't. 4th to, like...
Arvanitis.
Arvanitis? What about 5th? I remember 5th, Mr. Mack. He was huge.
Miss McCarty.
Was she nice?
She was so mean.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She specifically made fun of me and my best friend all the time.
Why?
Because we were friends. I don't know. She was just cruel. And one time I brought an oatmeal pie for a snack. Nope, not cool with Miss McCarty.
What did she do?
I don't know. Called me fat and threw me in a dumpster.
Why? Okay.
I mean, it was something.
Let's backtrack.
I might be remembering that wrong.
That could be a little...
She wasn't happy about the oatmeal pie, though.
Yeah, but she threw you in a dumpster. That
Right.
happened.
It was either me or the oatmeal pie. I don't remember which one.
Did I... It's funny we're talking about teachers.
Is that funny?
Yeah, I think so. Because yesterday, I just touched your foot with my foot. Footsies.
Did you?
No, that's not your foot. What is it?
I didn't feel it, so now I'm freaked out.
Oh, God, there's a 3rd foot under here. Wait, there's 4. There's 5 feet now. That's math for you.
Great math.
How many toes is that?
Don't...
50.
What happened yesterday about teachers or
So
whatever?
yesterday I was thinking of questions I wanted to ask for the podcast, and I was going to ask you, what do you think is like the worst teacher experience you've ever had?
Ooh.
Is it, what was her name? Mrs. McCarthy?
McCarty.
McCarty.
Or
Miss Maca.
I think it was McCarty because I wanted to say McCartney, but it wasn't. All right, I have one, but it's kind of I don't know if it counts because it was my teacher, but he was also my coach.
And your brother.
No, what?
I don't know.
It was in class. All right.
Oh, it's weird when you have a coach who's your teacher.
Dude, and this guy, he was, oh man. Here's the thing. I loved him as a teacher, but I had him first as a coach, a football coach, and he was like so intense. He was like the scary coach.
And what year is this? What?
So I was probably a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And I played JV, but I was pretty decent at my position, so I played varsity pretty regularly. And he was the varsity coach. He's the head varsity coach, and he's terrifying.
Yeah.
He's not like, there's one coach that's like pretty easygoing, like really good coach, but pretty chill. Like, come on, guys, doing great. And then this guy's like, Ennis, what are you doing out there? Like this guy.
The coach that everyone is afraid to see.
Dude, terrifying.
Well, you also got this was Pinkerton, right?
Pinkerton, yeah.
So this was much more like higher up school, I'd say. Like
They're
the football team was pretty big.
They're serious about their sports.
So yeah,
sure.
It makes sense that he was like a crazy coach.
Yeah. And I'll say he was a great coach, and come to find out he was an amazing teacher too. He was like one of my favorite teachers.
What did he teach?
History.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, for sure.
I love history.
So I went into, now a little background on me. I was the Slipknot kid in high school, especially
Did you draw
around that
those
time.
S's?
Oh, dude, there were S's on everything. I just drew all the symbols.
But that's like the definitive
That's the one.
punk goth kid, like
The S.
the S.
Dude, everywhere. So I wore like huge pants, like kickwear, and I never actually owned Jinkos, but they were just like,
I don't know any of the words you just said.
really, it'll mean something to whoever it means something to. How's that for a sentence?
Yeah, that's good.
Like, you know what I'm talking about though, like the big, like either raver pants or
Ones with all the chains and pockets
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, or like goth, and I'd wear like crazy colored arm warmers. I painted my nails a lot. I wore makeup, like. I did all that.
So you had a good time, is what I hear.
I was into it,
dude. Why not?
Well, Coach O'Reilly would tell you why not.
Oh yeah.
He found me to be a very poor representation of the football team. So I was like the only dude on the team who was like into the music scene and stuff like that, because I was in a bunch of bands and like did all that stuff, but I also played football. So I was good enough that like I played every JV game. They put me on varsity sometimes, but I think he just hated the way I dressed so much. So it was this awkward tension because I'm at all the games because I like don't suck at football.
Right.
But he just has this vendetta against me.
That's so unfair.
So unfair. So I think there were two moments. One was in class and one was at a game where he called me out, like yelled out my name and kind of made fun of me in front of everyone because of my pants being like big and sagging and stuff like that. Now I probably looked like a fool. I don't know.
Yeah, you're in high school. You're there to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, actually, I take that back. I looked awesome all the time.
See? That's how you look at it.
But, I mean, either way, I was just, like, wearing what I wanted, and I was, like, it made me so annoyed how frustrated he got. So, like...
Yeah, because there's no reason that he should get mad at you for anything.
Right. So, okay, I'll give you to answer your question. One day, I walk into class, I had these new pants. They were insanely huge, which, like... At that time, the bigger my pants, the better statement I was making.
That's
I was
perfect.
like, this is ridiculous. I wear what I want. So I wear, and my pants are like dragging behind me. And I mean, they were on me, but like the legs of the pants.
Like Rapunzel's hair and Tangled?
Yes, just like that.
Okay.
So I walk in, I sit down, and Mr. O'Reilly's like, Ennis, and like made some snide comment. So that was like, all right, whatever. Then another day, I think I had broken my hand or something, so I couldn't play. But I was going to the game because you just wear your jersey, you stand on the sideline.
Yeah.
And our colors were red and white, and I had red pants that were like big, like raver pants. So I wore those because I was like, well, these at least match, whatever. And I'm just standing on the sideline, and he flipped out at me. I was walking towards the bus to drive to the game. It was an away game, and he was like, Ennis, no way. Get the hell out of here and find a pair of jeans, like in front of the whole team.
Jeez.
I'm like, it was awful, dude.
Yeah.
So I had to walk around, and I ended up borrowing a pair of jeans that were way too big for me anyways.
Oh my God. So you probably look more ridiculous.
So I'm holding them up like the whole time on the sideline. And so I don't know. That may have been...
Well, it definitely left an impression on you all these years later. So.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was a very interesting relationship. And everybody knew because he would always call me out in front of people.
Yeah.
And so my friends on the football team would be like, dude, O'Reilly's got it out for you. And I'm like, I know, man.
You called him by name. Now people listening are going to go beat him up. Hint.
No, he's a tough dude.
Good.
I wonder how he's doing.
I don't know.
He was a great coach. Awesome teacher.
Yeah.
Great guy.
But is he?
I mean...
He makes fun of people, Brett. I guess we do, too.
He was very intimidating. Anyways.
That's different time, though. What was that, in the early 2000s? You weren't in high school in the 90s, were you?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I was, that was 2003, 2004, something like that.
Times were different then.
Were they? I don't know.
Lent.
Different.
Lent.
Little
Did you
bit.
eat meat on Lent? People celebrate Lent without actually celebrating it, which is weird to me.
Yeah, it's like a reverse celebration.
Is it? When you don't celebrate it? A lot of people were like, at least at work when I was there, a lot of people like weren't Christian or Catholic. You're supposed to be Catholic with Lent, and they were not eating meat because of it. So I didn't know if that's a weird thing.
No, that's like part of it. That's like how you do it. It's more a tradition, I guess. You like recognize Lent. I don't know if it's a celebration.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So back to my teacher question.
Yeah, what's yours?
So-
Sorry mine took so long.
No,
That was
yours.
forever.
You answered the question. That's what I wanted.
Was it interesting?
Yeah. It's good to know that you were bullied.
You're a flatterer.
Wow.
All right, what?
Am I fatterer?
No.
Okay. So
I don't know what just happened.
Mine's also pretty sad, I would say. Like,
This
I wasn't
is just sad.
I know. I wasn't made fun of. This is more of just seeing a teacher go from like naive, bright, and bushy-eyed to like. Is that no? It's bushy-tailed. Bushy-eyed.
Bright and bushy-eyed.
I love the bushy-eyed. I'm sticking with it.
Bright-tailed and bushy-eyed all day. All right. So what? Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Okay.
I don't even want. I don't want to talk anymore.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Bright-eyed, bright-tailed. So keep going.
Yeah. Okay. This.
How about your bushy-eyed teacher?
So she's a lady, by the way. She.
I assumed. Is that bad?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. I don't even want to tell this.
No,
anymore.
please do. That was great.
So basically, it was just she.
How old were you?
Sophomore year.
Really? What is it about sophomore year?
That's just a crazy year because freshman you're new, you got the nice teachers.
Right,
Sophomore, everyone's a jerk.
Junior year's the best.
Junior year's great.
Let me say that again. Junior year's supposed to be the best. It was terrible for me.
Really? My senior year was my worst year.
Really?
Because I moved. So I was in a whole...
I moved in my
junior year. It just sucks to move in high school in general.
That's way too late.
Way too late. Yeah. I remember I used to move, or I mean, you were with me the whole time. But
at some point I stopped.
Right, because you stationed yourself.
I did.
You were like, this
I was like, I'm
no
staying
more.
here.
I remember for a time I basically attended a new school every year.
Yeah.
There was one school. It was up to a seventh. Halfway through seventh, I moved, and then I stayed all the way to junior. That was good. But throughout my whole life, it was a new school every year. So, anyways, disregard that. That didn't mean anything. Just talking about our memory being confused.
A window into the life of Tim.
So this teacher just got out of college. She was like fresh new. She was like 24. She was young.
Okay.
And it's not really like my bad experience, but I felt so bad for her.
Okay,
Because I was in a class where there was a lot of those annoying, jerky teenage kids. Like those kids that were just like mean to the teacher, never listened, always talked, like were just a pain. So I saw this nice new teacher go from really nice, trying to like help everybody, to becoming like one of the worst teachers I've ever had.
Oh no.
Just because those kids brought her to the point where every day she came into the class like wicked mad and like.
Over how long? Just that year? Or?
Yeah, it was a half year, so 2 semesters or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, seriously, like the first 2 months, you could tell she was new and nice and just trying to get a handle on everything. But just the kids were just relentless. They were just constantly, just driving her nuts. And then eventually got to the point where she just came in mad every day, and like she became super strict and like gave us a lot of homework, and it totally affected and to me ruined my entire sophomore English experience. It was English class, which I love English. I love writing and stuff.
Samesies.
But it made me think of just how cruel teenagers can be. Kids in general.
Kids are the worst.
Kids are the worst. I like, there's a nice age between, like a little before 10, but once I hit 10, I don't want to talk to you until you're like 40. Except for you, you're fine. And Rachel's okay.
Thanks.
But that's it.
Right, that's it.
That's it.
That's where you stop it. Mm-hmm. So my daughter's got 3 years before you stop talking.
That's the end of that. I'm like, see you later. I'll see you later.
Maybe I'll do the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's kind of messed up, actually.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Isn't that like 90% of America? Ooh, that's dark. Oh, God. Sorry for the rough joke.
Getting real here on the keep up.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that. Other than that, I think. Oh no,
what's happening?
Nothing. I thought of a story.
How can you react to that in your head?
Because it's a bad story, and I don't want to tell it.
Grab some popcorn, folks.
This is bad. I think I've told this story before.
I'm so nervous.
Okay, so it was 8th grade.
Of course it was.
We were in the middle of testing.
Oh.
And you know how serious like the kneecap testing is, like, the countrywide testing. And
you say the kneecap testing?
That's what it was called, kneecap. New England.
Oh.
Capital.
Punishment.
You missed a letter.
Inauguration.
Art punishment.
What's the letter I missed?
A. Kneecap.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Maybe
anyways.
capital. So
Association.
yes. So the class I was in, the teacher was also very strict. Like this was to the point where you didn't even want to like raise your hand to ask to go to the bathroom. Strict during the testing.
I remember that.
So I was pretty sick at the time.
Gross.
Like just sniffles and stuff.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And I was wearing a long sleeve shirt, and so this is gonna get real bad. I sneezed.
Of course.
Really, really hard into
yeah.
my sleeve. Huge booger, like huge, like mucusy, like stringy booger.
Dude.
So I'm sitting there. So I'm sitting there in class, and I know I sneezed on my arm, but obviously nobody else around me did. Like I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh no, it's huge. It's across my, like it's long. So it was like I don't
during
know.
testing?
Yeah. So I
Nice.
didn't want to raise my hand to be like, can I go get a tissue? Because
Right.
then everyone's gonna watch me and like see it. It probably will fall down and like hang. It'll be awful. So this is so bad. So it was hard enough where I could pick it up off of my arm. So off my sleeve. So I picked it up. And my friend was sitting in front of me, so I patted him on the back. I was like, good luck today, and rubbed the booger on his back.
Why would you do that?
I had nowhere else to put it.
You had anywhere else to put it on your own clothes.
It was
Under the desk wasn't an option?
no, because it could have like fallen to the ground. At least there it was like it was still
Right.
wet, so to the point where I rubbed it into
And if
his
it fell on the
back.
ground, it has your DNA.
Yes,
so they'll
exactly.
find you.
So I didn't
Yeah.
want so. Poor kid never knew.
You
He
never
just-
told him?
No, of course not.
You're the worst.
I told him now. Well, I didn't say who it was, but he'll remember. Because I did. It was weird because he looked at me. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, no, just good luck
Just
today.
good luck. That's
Yeah,
all.
because it was like, hold on, let me just. Yeah, it was like, it was a really weird one too because it was like long and stringy.
Can we not?
But it was a little hard. It was
Right,
like,
yeah.
it was like old boogies mixed with new
Wow.
boogies.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it was.
It was a variety pack. Why
Yeah.
okay, that's way too much description.
But it was pretty. I felt bad for a while. But
Did
then-
ya?
Well, I mean, he
you
must have
feel
went home
bad?
and was like, "What is this on my back?" Like he could have gone through school and somebody might have stopped. I don't know what happened after that.
I'm
but-
sure people just looked at it
Yeah,
and made fun of it.
I don't even remember what color the shirt was. I don't think it matters.
Well,
It
that's
just
not
it
like
looked
important at all.
well,
You said it like you definitely would. Like, I don't even remember what color the shirt was.
well because
in 8th grade, the person in front of me.
maybe it had importance to the story.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to how I remember things in fragments.
Yes, exactly. Maybe I was dead that whole time.
I mean, that's a strange theory. I'm jumping back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I'm going to expect my kids to remember what happened when they were like 2 and 3.
I know it's funny. I feel like us will remember it because,
Yeah, of course.
like as an adult, you'll remember it, but they won't remember like all this stuff we're doing right now,
Like right this moment.
right this very moment.
Especially right now because they're asleep.
That's what I think is the best thing about the podcast is they get to watch you when they grow up.
And they are now recorded for Uncle Tim's stupid questions.
Yes, they
I'll
will
have their voice on
They
the
will
podcast.
permanently be in the podcast forever, remembered, immortalized.
Immortalized.
Are you gonna show people these podcasts when you're like 80 and you're in like a retirement home?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, "This was me."
Why do I talk like
That's your
like
old
an
person.
aging sports announcer?
This is me in HD.
Maybe I'm like losing my mind and I think I'm a sports announcer or
Yeah,
something.
it's just like a picture of a bird.
Yeah.
There's no laptop. There's nothing.
This is my podcast. Brett, that's a picture of a bird.
So yes, that was my first question. I don't even know where.
That was your first question.
Well, then it led to
Which-
another question. So my second
turtles?
question: do you think? I'm just jumping around. Do you think you have a song that has followed you throughout your life? Like a song that seems to come up when you're like, why?
Okay, the first thing that popped into my head was Just a Girl by No Doubt.
Okay, that doesn't count because that's everyone's song that haunts them.
It doesn't haunt me. I love it.
That's the thing. I feel like it's following me.
Okay.
I'll tell you my song after, but see if you can think of something that's just like.
I don't.
Do you want me to give you?
So it's one you don't like, or
Well,
you just feel like it's like.
I'm indifferent about it.
All right, what
It's-
do you go? You go.
So,
you go, you go.
it-
Hey,
yes,
you go.
okay,
You go. Whoa,
thank
whoa,
you.
whoa. You go first.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Wait, you should
Nah.
let me go
Yeah.
first. Okay. So the song is Adam Sandler, the theme song.
Adam Sandler.
Adam's
Oh,
Family. Adam's Family.
I thought you were trying to say Adam Sandler, and you said
No, it's-
Adam Sandley. I was like, dude, that's not his name.
Yeah, that's Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandley. Pecan Sandy.
Oh, shut up.
All right, so Adam Sandler's theme song.
Yes. So when it's probably first or second grade, another memory thing. That was how I learned. What?
Sorry. I just realized we've been talking about like memory things, but it's just a memory.
It is.
That's all that is the thing you remember.
It's, we try to make it sound more intelligent than it really is.
That's another one of those memory things.
Yeah, just a weird thing.
Oh, all right. What happened in second grade at the Adam Sandler?
So it must have been first grade because we were learning the days of the week.
Yeah.
And to learn it, they did it in the, the Addams Family tune.
So was it Monday and Tuesday?
Wednesday and Thursday.
It's not even enough syllables.
I know. It must have went differently, but at this point, I can't remember. So
How'd they fit Saturday?
And then there's Saturday, days of the week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's how I used to remember days of the week for years. Like in high school, I'm like, wait, there's Sunday, then there's Monday. That's so.
I like to imagine even now, someone will be like, "Hey Tim, what day is it?"
Well, first
It's Monday and it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, and it's Thursday.
Thursday, that's what today is. So that's it's the tune that's always been in my head. So then eventually, Mom, for some Halloween, I don't remember, but you've seen it. It's the dog that sings the Addams Family song.
Yeah.
So she got that, and she got that I think originally for me or Bailey or something.
Okay.
And then so we've had that in the family for a while, and then she gave it to your kids, and then they play it every Halloween. So I hear that song literally every year because of that.
Yeah.
And now where I work, my boss I work with, Pasquale, he sings that song while he's cooking. So it's just like he sings Christmas songs and that song. So
Like all the time?
yeah, like just humming it, or like he's not going like Adams. He's not singing it, he's just humming it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like looking around like, is this real life?
Does he sing the words?
No, he doesn't sing the words.
Just, so he's humming?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, I just...
While cooking?
Yeah, he's just...
I can't get over that image of a large Italian man named Pasquale just cooking up entrees going...
He does it a lot when he's cleaning, like at the end of the night.
Does he clap?
Sometimes. I clap sometimes. He's just over there singing it, and I hear it, so I clap, and he looks over and laughs, and I'm like... He's sitting there.
That's all I can do.
But it haunts me at this point.
Yeah, it follows you everywhere, huh?
I don't know, it's just one of those songs that I'm like, please stop. I don't need to know. And I don't even know the words.
I don't have one of those.
There's like family members.
They're creepy and they're creepy. Creepy and they're creepy.
Is that how it goes?
Creepy and they're creepy.
Creep a creep.
There's no lyrics for that part.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think.
Well,
no, it's just...
No, I think they go, oh, maybe you're right. I don't know what words to begin with. So you have no songs that haunt you? I hate you.
Yeah, sorry. I don't think so, man. I have songs that are nostalgic and, that remind me of when I was little, younger.
Do you have songs that are nostalgic that you don't know why they're nostalgic?
No.
No?
I think I probably trace the origin of most of them.
There are some songs that I like, and I feel like I liked them when I was really young.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out who would have listened to these songs.
You got any?
Well, there's one I know, but I don't know the origin of it. I'm laughing. It's I think it's called This Kiss. Yeah, I used to sing it all the time.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the podcast.
Yeah, and I don't understand why that's been, but I
think you said on a past episode that Mom used to travel with you and you would perform it at like hairdressers.
Yeah, that's what I do. But I wonder if there's an origin before it. Yeah, I do.
I think her and Mom and Bailey would just listen to it all the time.
And I eventually just got sucked into it.
You were a tiny little baby and you were like, "That's my favorite song ever.
It's the best song in the
like,
world."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all. It's just radio.
Yeah, that's good.
I could ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you know
the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
Do you know...
The Muffin Man. Who lives on Blueberry Lane? Shrek, come on.
So my band, Chasms, played a show last weekend.
Yes, how'd that go?
It went really, really well.
Did you break more sticks?
I didn't break anything.
Oh, no, you broke your...
I also don't play drums in this band.
Right, you broke your bass, that's why. Because throughout all your bands in life, you've done drums. So.
I know. I am a drummer first.
Yes.
But, no, I didn't really break anything this time.
Good. Didn't really?
I don't think I did at all.
Okay.
I might have pulled a muscle.
I was going to say, except your hands.
My hands are all right.
Oh, good. I just cursed them.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
So I played, and I talked to this dude outside afterwards, and he was like, you guys are really good. And he's like, you're a young buck, huh? And I was like, what? And then he said it again, and then I didn't know how to respond. Because I was like, is he just saying that I look young? Because I didn't know how old he was. So my response was like, why, how old are you? And then I immediately was like, is that weird?
Yeah, that's weird.
So let me ask you this. Do you know there to be any slang meaning to the term young buck?
What?
Does that mean anything other than
to
you
be
look young?
I would take it as be young. Like... He just assumes you're younger than what you think.
Okay, so that's what I took it as.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I was like, because I asked him how old he was.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm 37. And then the way he responded, I was like,
well, I think
is that offensive? Is that weird?
I think it's just weird to come back and be like, well, I think if you know the person.
I probably, but I don't.
Right. So that's where it's weird.
So I probably should have been like, why, how old do you think I am?
Yes.
But I didn't do that.
Right. You said...
Because in my mind, I think I was like, well, he's talking about my age, so... I said it like, I was like, why? How old are you? I wasn't like, why, how old are you?
Right.
But then it was weird, but then everything was cool afterwards. But then my thought later was like, does young buck mean something else? Like, because when I asked him about his age, he seemed confused.
Right, like you guys weren't talking about the same
About the same thing.
Okay.
And then I was thinking, because like I'm pretty energetic on stage, so I was like, does young buck mean like you jump around a lot? Is that a thing? You have a lot of energy? I looked it up. Doesn't seem to be a thing.
Yeah, well, young bucks generally like to do little hoppies, don't they?
That might be just antelopes.
Oh, okay. See?
Or gazelles. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's what they do, little hoppies.
Anyways.
So I think your answer was probably what threw him off.
So I'm at fault here.
But I don't know what he wanted you to say, like, other than, like, how old do you think I am? Like, is that where
And we did get there eventually.
Yeah.
He thought I was 25.
25, nice.
And I said, thank you. But even then, I was like, am I old enough yet to be flattered by feeling like people think I'm... What's the sentence right now?
I was with you until you said that.
Sorry.
Then I lost the whole sentence.
Am I old enough yet to be flattered by people thinking I'm younger than I am?
Yes, I think so.
What is that supposed to mean, Tim?
I don't know. That just seems like the right answer.
I don't know either.
Well, it's better. I think it's better when they think you're like 25 because people at my work think I'm like 16.
Yeah. How old are you? 18?
22.
Oh, I know.
See?
So now I know the proper response is to just focus on my age, not ask someone else's age.
Well, I mean, if you know the person.
I didn't. I do now.
Right.
Now he's my boy.
And now you know his age.
Right.
See, that just made you better. Better friend.
Did we start off too personal? Hey, man, I'm Brett. How old are you?
Why don't we start things like that?
I know. Should we? You ever end up wondering for like a really long time how old someone is? Like at work or something? You've only had this job and they're probably all way older
But I
than
have
you.
met more people in my life, Brett.
Prove it.
I have a whole yearbook full of people.
I guess I'm just... Yeah, but you know how old they are. You're in school with them.
We're all the same age. Brett, you're just going to let me have my moment.
I'm sorry.
But yes, there are people who come around where I'm like, oh, they must be, 20.
And then
they're like 40.
Is it weird to ask? Someone at work the other day just asked me how old I am.
It's okay to ask other men. Don't ask women.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just a thing.
Rachel, how old are you? Are you offended? She flipped me off. That's
wow,
so messed up.
That's fitting. That's what.
She didn't really.
No,
I should clear that up. This is the internet.
Nice.
Rumors will start.
Yeah.
Let's move into something.
Okay.
Do you have anything to share about it?
I can't fit in this drawer.
Don't you dare.
You said let's move into something.
Into a category.
Okay.
We're 40 minutes in. This is unprecedented.
Best podcast ever.
It might be. We got stories, folks. All right. I got a couple things to talk about.
Okay.
You ready?
In what category?
TV real quick.
Okay.
Television. I think this counts as TV.
Mm-hmm. I was just looking at it again.
So was I.
Okay.
Rachel and I watched a comedy special last night. Mike Birbiglia.
Don't you say that word.
Are you familiar?
No.
It's an Italian swear word.
Oh.
It's not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think it. Just,
it probably is
sounds
now.
like it. Mike Birbiglia. The special is called "Thank God for Jokes."
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
You've never seen any of his stuff? I used to see him on Comedy Central a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, when you were growing up, did you watch Comedy Central?
Mm-mm.
Not at all?
No, I still watch Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
It's not even good anymore.
It isn't. Well, they got Gumball.
That's it. So you watch 24 hours of crappy
No,
Cartoon
now I watch Travel Channel and Science Channel. I watch more adult channels.
Yeah.
Not adult channels.
Yes.
Channels
right. For adults.
that aren't adult.
Right.
Right.
I hate that you can't just use the word adult and have people not think you're a creep.
You know what, Brett? I just enjoy adult play places like arcades.
Adults entertainment.
Exactly.
You can't.
Yep.
Even the music channels, like on demand, there's like an adult music. And I read it and I'm like, that sounds inappropriate.
I just assume it has more language in it. Like.
Nah.
Farts.
Tim.
I'm sorry. I know we have a friendly family podcast. Not family friendly.
I don't know if we have a friendly family
Anyway,
podcast.
so no, I didn't watch any stupid channels.
I transitioned at one point from watching like all Cartoon Network to I'd switch over to Comedy Central on Fridays. They had Friday night stand up. Man, it was so good. I saw Mike Birbiglia every now and then, and he just put the special up on Netflix. And dude, his comedy style is like, I really don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It's so well written, and his whole set is like, it's a performance. It's not just like joke after joke. There are like jokes within jokes. And it almost left me like wanting to watch it again because I felt like I missed some stuff.
So does he like tell you a story? And
There's a bunch of
jokes?
stories.
Okay.
And as he goes, there are these little jokes in there.
Okay.
You know, like he has, like he's telling a funny story about he and his wife. And like a joke within the joke example is he's like, so I said to my wife, I said, Chloe, her name's Jen. And then he continues. And so you're laughing at that, and he's taking you deeper into this like hilarious story. And then he also like starts stories that he says he's going to finish later. And he like his jokes and stories that he tells bring him all the way back to like where he started in the beginning.
I've heard a joke like that where it's like, I'm not going to tell it now, but it's like you set up one joke and it's a stupid joke, and then you tell the other joke, and that the ending to that joke finishes off the first joke, and I'm like, oh, that was great.
It's
like they're stupid, but they make me laugh.
Yeah, they're like really smart. So his whole set is like, it's just so well written and all very, very well put together. But he also has like some improv moments where he goes into the crowd, and I won't even explain what happens, but it is like, it's so embarrassing for the audience member, but it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I love that.
So there's the improv, and then there's the written material, and the whole time it's kind of this open monologue about how much he loves jokes and how much like comedy means to him. And there are moments where he brings everything down somehow, and it's so like heartfelt, and then he'll break it with a joke, and it's like it's just genius. The whole thing is so good, and there's some good like. I guess that's it. I'll just stop with that.
Yeah.
You should go watch it.
How long is it?
Hour and 10 minutes.
Netflix original? Like,
you know, I'm not sure. It was from I forget what it was. It's in like a palace or a theater. And I think he was hosting. It was a palace that he'd been at before hosting awards. I can't remember what the awards were called, but
the Funnies?
Nope.
Okay.
That wasn't it.
I tried.
It was a decent attempt. And he was returning there, and it's great. It's really, really funny. Maybe my favorite comedy special I've ever seen.
Really? That's serious.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I haven't seen many comedy specials to the point where I couldn't even say my favorite because I haven't seen that many. But
there are a lot of good ones on
I know.
Netflix.
I always like them when I watch them, but I don't know. I feel like I just have a hard time like committing to a comedy special where I'm like, well, I could be watching a show, like catching up on something that has a continuous story as opposed to just, one-off thing.
There's something about it that feels less of a commitment for some reason than like we did it last night because Rachel was like, I kind of feel like watching a movie, but it's like kind of late. And so we look for a comedy special because it's like right in between.
Yeah.
It's not
something you have to pay a lot of attention to. Like a movie.
You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to, but you end up doing that.
Right,
because
it's funny. It keeps
so
you
I guess
there.
you're right. There's possible that you could turn it on and be like, nah, not really into this. Then you crash.
Yeah.
No harm done.
With a movie, you're like, oh, I watched half of it.
But that's the worst.
But I don't remember half, so I have to rewatch it, and then you remember while you're watching. That's why I can't watch movies before I go to bed. I just
into that.
Because I either stay up till the end of the movie or give up and die.
Right. Yeah, those are the only two outcomes.
Yep.
Do you have anything in TV?
Just a quick thing because I didn't watch many or a lot of it, but the Tangled show came out.
Oh, yeah.
It was called Tangled Before Ever After, and it was cool from what I saw. It was like it was an hour-long special, and the show's coming out March 24th.
Okay.
The series, so it's 26 episodes.
So what was I love Tangled.
Yes.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked it too.
Songs are great.
Yep.
What's what age do you think the show's aimed at?
I think it's definitely aimed at age-wise, I mean, kids, but I think it really caters to the people who like the older generation and stuff that it hasn't been that long since that movie came out, but the people who watch the movie and like the comedy in it, it translates very well. Like
it does.
Yeah, like what's his name? Flynn Rider?
Flynn Rider, yeah. Flynn, not Flint.
Yeah, Flynn. Yes. Yeah. I think it's Zachary Levi who does his voice, and he, transitioned very well. His comedy is still spot on, and like the situations that happen in the show are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it did have one song that I heard, and it was good. It was like, it's not, trying to think, like compared to, Simi's shows, like the younger girl princess shows.
Yeah.
This was felt more like
the Disney Junior stuff.
Yes, this felt more like a Disney movie song. And yeah, everyone's back, voice actors and stuff. Which
really,
so it's cool, and it's weird because like
Mandy Moore.
Yeah,
sweet.
Well, sounds just like her. I'm not 100%, but yeah, check it up to be sure. But yeah, so it's weird because I'm excited because I love Tangled so much.
I love it.
I love it, but I'm not like wicked excited about the show. If that makes sense. And it's weird because I'm happy I have more of something I really liked, but I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever watch it. It's like it was funny and I enjoyed it, but I don't know. Does that happen to you?
Well, I think it is her. I think what's interesting is like there's some like if you go to a theater and watch a Disney movie, really at any age, that's understood. That's not weird.
Yeah.
Plenty of friends, in their 20s, 30s, 40s who will go see a Disney movie with other friends. But for some reason, if they put out like a series on TV, you're weird if you go home and watch cartoons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not stating that as a fact. I'm just saying it feels like...
yeah, like I, even nowadays, I still feel weird like popping on Cartoon Network or whatever because I'm like, I'm an adult. I probably should be watching not cartoons.
But I think we're in a confusing generation where like there are certain people, I've realized, I was talking to Rachel recently about that. Any new listeners, Rachel's my wife.
Not mine.
If you're an old listener, the same is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yours. And I was talking to her about how there are certain people that I'm around that I realize I feel weird talking about certain things in front of because they're my age or a little bit older, maybe even a little bit younger, and just are different than me, but the kind of different that might be considered more mature. Okay. So, for instance, if I talk about the Ninja Turtle series, that might totally not compute with someone who like doesn't read comic books, didn't grow up watching like, superhero action cartoon kind of things. Maybe wouldn't understand like the comedy or isn't into animation. There are all these things about like the art of animated stuff and the continuity of things that we grew up with. So if you didn't grow up, I don't know if you didn't grow up watching Ninja Turtles at all, you might not get how awesome the current show is. But so if you're one of those people who's like, you watch cartoons as a kid, but then at some point, like you got really interested in a certain, I don't know, a career in business or whatever, not to generalize people who want careers in business, but like say, they just never watched cartoons anymore, where there was a time where I just focused on music. I didn't really watch cartoons or play video games a lot. I'll put those two things together. And then actually as in like my later teens and early 20s, I got really back into animation and video games in a really strong way. So I was going back and watching old series, and now I still do it. They put out the new Voltron season on Netflix, and I get stoked about that. But I realize that the older I get, there are more people around me that I'm like, I wonder if they'll think like I'm a total nerd. Right. If I talk about like, if they're like, oh, so what kind of shows do you watch? And I'm like,
Ninja Turtles,
and there's a new Powerpuff Girls show. I don't know. Right. So it's just a funny thing. I think the reason I said I think we're in kind of like an interesting generation is because we're in the generation of reboots and continuations of old series that we grew up with. That really didn't happen in the last generation because all of those shows were just coming out. Right. So the new iterations of things from the 80s or things from the 90s, those things were just being created back then. Right. So there wasn't this resurgence for the people who grew up with it.
Yeah, because then before that, there were cartoons, but just not like
for sure
how it is now. And same with movies, it's like, yeah, I get what you mean.
It's the advancement of all the things that we enjoy. I mean, even video games. There are people to whom video games are like how could anyone still play video games? Like, I'm a grown-up. And
right,
it's like,
people think it's a kid's toy.
Right, it's like, dude, kids can't play some of the games that come out now. Right. Like, they can't figure out... I could not play Skyrim when I was 2 playing Mega Man. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's on a completely different level. They're not made strictly for kids anymore. There's a completely different market. And so because of that, you have these weird things because, when we were kids, cartoons were for kids. Our parents weren't like...
Yeah, they weren't
watching cartoons and stuff. Like, I know Rachel's parents think animated movies for the most part are silly. And it's just this idea that like animated stuff's for kids. But when... her mom has sat down and watched a couple Pixar movies with our kids, and she'll be like, that movie really surprised me. Normally, I don't care about animated stuff, but she watches it and she's like, oh, yeah. Like, these are...
And that's awesome because it's still very accessible for all the older generations if they want to come and join in on all the fun we're having. Right. But it's funny that it is changing from being kids to just anybody. Because they bring in, Zootopia is a great example of that. Because the themes they talk about it, like racism and just all that stuff they talk about in the movie. So on an adult level, you're like, holy crap, this hits hard because it's very close to home. It's very realistic. Yeah. But then the kids have fun. And we talked about it, I think, last podcast and many podcasts ago. But it's just, it's always so amazing to me that there's such a like thin line between adult and kids. And it's like they do it so well where they hit all the right beats in animated movies.
And I guess like what we're talking about with Tangled is another interesting angle on that, where it's like, if the show's a little bit aimed at kids, is it weird? It's not even weird. It doesn't matter. You just either like it or you don't. And I think shows are written either for one shots for kids, or if there's any kind of ongoing plot, like maybe you're into it. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool that they have all the original actors, and if the comedy holds up and there's cool songs. Yeah. But for some reason, why does that sound different? Like if you go and see Tangled and you're like, oh, the music was great, the animation was great. But if you're like, hey, I watched the new Tangled show on the Disney Channel. Yeah. The comedy was great, the music was great. Why does that sound different?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I really don't.
Do you agree? Like, I feel like it feels a little different.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I'm like hesitant to watch it. Both. I don't know. It's just maybe because it has the possibility of ruining my image of it, of like, because the movie was so good, like I don't need anymore. Too much of a good thing, you know?
Sure, you might not. Whoa.
I know. Powers go.
All the
out.
lights just flashed. Yeah, I don't know. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're good.
It is aggressively snowy and windy outside as we're recording.
Yeah, I know. But your computer will still record even if the power goes out, right? It's plugged in.
Yes.
Yeah, so it shouldn't shut off.
But
although the audio, all the other stuff.
No, I think it'll still work because my interface. No, it probably won't.
What a fun part of the podcast.
Anyways.
So yeah, that's with Tangled. It's just interesting. And I think also like when Big Hero 6 comes out, they're making that. I think I'd be more amped to watch that.
Yeah.
More than Tangled, but I'm not sure why. It's a weird thing.
You know, that could be. Yeah, I don't know. There's different things that play. Like, is it because Tangled's about like a prince and a princess, and Big Hero 6 is more like superhero?
Yeah, action-y and stuff. So it's like a girl and boy thing. But every time a new Disney movie comes out, I saw Cinderella. I'm wicked excited for Beauty and the Beast. Like whether or not it's girly or boyish or whatever, it doesn't matter. I just I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I feel about it.
I mean, there is to me, the age thing is. There are certain people it's marketed to. You know what I mean? Like, a perfect example because it became this big cultural thing, but My Little Pony. I watched it with Simi, and it's pretty funny. Like, when she wanted to watch it, I was like, cool.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, like, necessarily sit down and just watch it because I don't feel like it's really aimed at me, so it doesn't really hold my attention in that way. Where I'm like, oh, there's a new episode of My Little Pony. Some people are, and that's cool. But, like, for me, I'm like, I'm going to watch something else over that. I don't know. So you might just find that, like, this is not, doesn't really hold my attention.
Yeah,
it's not really written for me.
Yeah, and I think, I guess it just surprised me because I like the movie so much. I think, same idea there. But I guess with the movies, it's always aimed for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, because they know people have to bring their kids. You know what I mean? So they want everyone to enjoy it. But that's cool that they're putting stuff out like that.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's cool.
It's exciting.
Yes. That was supposed to be quick, but it lasted like 15 minutes.
It's all good. It's an interesting conversation. Yeah. So I have one more quick thing in movies.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's go to the movies. All right, we'll be brief on this, but I wanted to bring this movie up. I totally forgot to bring it up last week, but I saw Get Out.
Oh, yes.
Did you see it yet?
No.
You didn't? Okay. That also brings me to another thing that I want to do, which I think we might be able to pull off soon. What I would really love to do, we've always kind of juggled spoilers in the podcast, and early on, maybe we weren't as conscious of it, but we try not to really give many spoilers now. If you haven't watched like Arrow or The Flash, maybe don't listen to our earlier episodes.
I know, we're pretty brutal about those shows.
But what I was thinking would be cool is if we do a separate, like, shorter, 15 to 30 minute spoiler cast. If we have something we really want to, like, get into.
Yeah. Like Logan.
Exactly. So I haven't seen Logan yet. You haven't seen Get Out. If by next week we can both see them, or, in the next couple weeks or whatever, it'd be sweet to do, because those are both huge movies
That's such a weird, like, specific movies. It's like, oh, let's listen to a podcast about Logan and Get Out.
Well, we could do separate ones.
That's true.
I'm thinking we do like one for an individual thing.
Yeah.
So it'll just be like the Keep Up versus Logan.
Yeah, so like when Star Wars comes out this year, we'll have a Star Wars spoiler cast.
Yeah, and I want to talk about it on the podcast, like the main podcast, just to let people know what we think about it.
Yeah, we'll have like an abridged version.
Yeah, exactly, which is what I'm going to do right now with Get Out.
Yep.
And I'm kind of taking a page out of the book of the /Filmcast, which honestly I haven't listened to in forever. I hope they're still recording. It was one of the first film podcasts that I really got into, and they would do... the first majority of their podcast was all spoiler free, and then they would go into a spoiler section. And so I was thinking we could do something similar if there's something we both really want to get into. Yeah. So with Get Out, I'll just say it's Jordan Peele of Key and Peele fame. It's his directorial debut, and it's amazing. It's getting incredible reviews, and it spans genres. It spans, I guess, concepts and topics that are both culturally relevant and really engaging to watch. The performances are like kind of mesmerizing. If you've seen trailers and stuff, right?
Yeah, and every time I see a trailer, I'm like, I don't know what the heck to think about this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just weird. I'm just not sure what to feel.
It's it's a roller coaster, man. But it's like, it's so good. And I'll say this about it: it's marketed. To me, the trailer reads like a horror. And you see it, and there are some jumpy moments, but overall, I'd call it a thriller for sure. Which I was watching an interview with Jordan Peele earlier, and he was saying they went pretty hard thriller with it, and but there are other elements. There's some comic relief that just lands every time this particular character enters. He's just so good, and the cast is really awesome. It is the first. Let me find. I had it pulled up, and then I looked up Tangled.
Of course.
You're the worst.
I'm sorry. I'm just ruining your life with
It's all
these
good.
questions.
So Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Bradley Whitford, who you would know from Billy Madison. He's Eric, the guy with the weaselly laugh.
Oh, God.
Catherine Keener, Caleb Landry Jones, who was Banshee in X-Men First Class.
Oh, my. Wow.
Yeah. And a whole slew of other amazing actors. So,
You were going to say it's the first?
So Allison Williams, she's on, is it Girls?
HBO show?
Girls, HBO, yeah. So it's her first, it's her debut film. And Daniel Kaluuya, it's his first starring role.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of firsts in this movie, with it being Jordan Peele's debut.
That guy, well, he already put it away,
What?
but was he in Black Mirror? Because I think he was in an episode.
The lead actor?
Yeah.
He was in...
Black Mirror.
I don't see it. He was in Sicario. He was in Johnny English, Kick-Ass 2. He is currently filming for Black Panther.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the black thing I was thinking of.
So that's what'd you say,
Mirror.
Black Mirror?
Yeah.
So he's amazing. Part of his performance you see in the trailer when he's like sitting still and he's got tears running down his face.
Yeah.
That moment in the movie is even more intense than it is in the trailer. And the trailer gives you kind of get this psychological feel, and that's in there, and it's just all over the place in the best way possible. As far as like emotionally, you're kind of watching it, trying to figure out what's going on. And it's one of those movies you need to see twice. I saw a clip earlier today, and just in that like 1.5 minute clip, it was like a morning show where it was like, we have these actors here. Let's catch a glimpse of the movie. And they showed just like a 1.5 clip. And I was like, oh my gosh, because when you know where the story goes, it sheds new light on everything. It's almost a Sixth Sense situation where you need to go back and watch from the beginning. At first, to be honest, I was like amazed at all of the reviews because it got some of the highest reviews like across the board.
Yeah, it was seriously, sorry, there's something in my eye. It was seriously like reviewed very well, which I was surprised because I thought I was like, oh, it's just going to be another weird horror movie. Like, the trailers gave me that weird vibe. So I was like,
it's
right.
definitely on a different level, and there's so much to talk about. Again, like I said, culturally, politically, it's one of those thrillers that just serves so much more than just like a couple scares and get your heart pumping. It's like, man, there are some issues dealt with here that are just unbelievable, and the level of the acting and the storytelling and the details are like just insane.
I need to really see it then.
Yeah, for sure. It's worth every good review it's gotten, and I love that it came from Jordan Peele, who is known for his comedic work, and so everyone was like, what's this about? And he has got to be sitting on the top of the world with the reviews he's getting for his debut.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
Like, I don't know, man. Dude's sitting on top right now. Really, really good. I would love to do a full-blown podcast on just this movie.
Yeah.
So maybe within the next week or so. I'm actually not sure when this podcast is going to come out.
Next week?
Maybe.
Week after.
Just posted one the other day. I got one more.
So are we a week ahead?
Kinda.
That's good.
But we were going to post 2.
Yeah, but it's not bad to be a week ahead.
It's not bad. So you're all either getting one this week
Or two.
or two. Or you got two last week.
Right.
I don't know what's happening.
And the vodcast we are working on, we decided, I already started talking about it, but
Well, it'll just come out when it comes out.
yeah, so the vodcasts are just, like you said, going to come out when they come out. Right now, the camera died, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we just had some batteries issues and stuff. So the next two vodcasts are going to be kind of all over the place. But, or next two, next three, I guess.
I don't know. We're confusing ourselves because we're like recording, I don't know, multiple times a week now.
Yeah.
And if you are listening to the podcast, but you sometimes check out the vodcast, they might not be up at the same time within the same week like they normally would be.
Yeah.
But they will show up. We have the footage and we're working on it.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to make sure you guys have at least the podcast to listen to. And I guess that's it.
Yeah, like I said, I've just been playing Zelda all last week.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Still good, just so everyone knows. 50,
what, Zelda?
Yeah, like 57 hours
Woof.
in, and I'm like, this just keeps getting better and
You're
better.
an animal.
Yeah, it's awesome. That and Halo Wars, which I don't like real-time strategy games. Yeah.
Huh.
But it was at the bottom of my GameFly list, and they were like, oh, we'll send it to you now. You look like you want it. I'm like, okay.
All right.
So I think as far as real-time strategy games go, people like it. I'm indifferent
But
about
you're
it.
not people.
No, I'm not people. I gotta say though, my goal. Well, I beat it actually tonight. But my goal in the game was just to get to the next cutscene because the cutscenes are beautiful.
Really?
That's like, to me, that's the whole reason. I feel like that's why everybody plays RTSs because they're like, oh, the cutscenes are awesome.
Yeah.
Story's okay.
It's like earning a movie.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. And together, all the cutscenes are pretty long. I'd say like maybe 30 minutes total.
Yeah.
And it could be its own movie. They're just like, it's wicked high quality and it's a neat story. So, so that I'd say if you play it, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Just for the cutscenes. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm lame.
You're not lame, Tim.
Dude.
You had 40 minutes of stupid questions with Uncle Tim.
That's true. That's a good time.
Yeah. Also, in case anyone doesn't know, those are actually Tim's niece and nephew in that transition.
Your children.
Yes.
That you absorbed.
I just really... What?
I don't know.
I don't know if you understand how kids are made. I just really wanted to call it Stupid Questions with Uncle Tim.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Because I'm an uncle.
Want to hear it again?
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
It's so great. I was so excited about it.
You know what? This almost rivals Sonic music. Brett is now going to bed.
Ready, transition.
Stupid questions.
How many layers did you put on?
I think there are four. So there's...
Because it sounded like there was an extra kid, but it's like Simi twice or something.
Yeah. There's 8 total child voices.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So funny. So great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now I had to ask a stupid question every time.
you don't have to, but I have the transition for it.
Yep.
We don't always use technology, or we don't use the reading one or the food one nearly enough. I love my food transition.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
The delicious.
Can we go into food?
Not now.
Good. Nothing's stopping us. We talked about the chalupa.
We already talked about that.
Did we?
Yeah, last week I think.
I don't know. You're the one who listens to the podcast.
See, this is why you need to edit, I guess, so you can remember what we talked about.
I just walk in and I'm like, let's talk for a few hours.
You just always want to talk about chalupas.
That's all I want to do.
So good.
Oh, speaking of, I need to have dinner. I've been shoveling like for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Well, snow blowing.
Yeah, why shoveling?
Well, because I shoveled my whole life until like last year. And then
Yeah,
we're
I
like,
know.
oh, there's a thing called a snowblower.
Why didn't anyone tell me?
I've been a slave for so long.
All right, yeah, cool. We'll wrap it up.
Yes.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The Keep Up or the Keep Up HQ, whichever one works on whatever.
YouTube, we are the Keep Up Archives. That is our old channel. And we have the Keep Up VE, which we need to make videos for that.
Currently 2 podcasts.
3
vodcasts.
Yes.
But please subscribe. We are currently stocking up on things to post there.
Yes.
And it's way more encouraging to post things when there's some people who are watching.
Yeah. Those poor 3 people are sitting there waiting.
Just waiting.
Which I think you and I are each one, and then that extra
possible.
person.
I don't think I subscribed.
I subscribed.
So you're one of them.
Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I am. I just want to check out the channel every now and again to see if there's more subscribers or whatever. But
for sure. Yep, I get that.
Anyways, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, people.
May your feet fly like an eagle. May your pinkies cry like a deagle. May your eyelids flutter like a Snapple bottle. And may your ears go ring, ring, ring on the telephone.
Peace!
That was like the demon that was inside.
Is that how I'm supposed to start this?
You know what I realized my farts sound like?
What?
Someone freeing themselves from like, so bounce castles, and if you go on the edge, it like falls in. if you're a big guy and you fall in the edge of it, and it like starts deflating the thing because you start going in. It sounds like someone tried to rip themselves free of that.
I don't know if that's what that's.
That's it's really the same thing. They're like, that's how it goes.